Well, the 2012 IZOD IndyCar Series season is underway, and already it's time for round number 2. What will we do for an encore? The emotional tributes to Dan Weldon, capped off fittingly by a tribute from his good friend Helio Castroneves in turn number 10, now and forevermore dubbed Dan Weldon Way on the streets of St. Petersburg as part of his celebration, visiting Victory Lane for the first time in well over a year. Hello, everyone. Welcome to beautiful Barber Motorsports Park. I'm Mark Janes. We are readying for the Honda Indy Grand Prix of Alabama, the third visit for the IZOD IndyCar Series to this world-class facility. Happy to be joined by Mike King and Nick Yeoman. Those guys are patrolling pit road for this first IZOD IndyCar Series session. Mike, as I said, what will we do for an encore after a fabulous start to the 2012 campaign?
Yeah, Mark, I tell you, St. Pete was great. Brand new cars, new drivers with new teams, and being down here on pit lane for the first time, as you can hear some of the cars getting ready to leave pit lane, this is the first time that I've had an opportunity to see a lot of these guys in a long time. Mark, our broadcast position in St. Pete kind of isolates us from the teams, but I'm hoping to try to talk to as many people as possible here in the next hour or so and get some input from them regarding the announcement about the new race in Houston, what they thought about their performance in St. Pete, all those things. So we're perusing pit lane right now.
The win by Helio Castroneves was the 26th win of his IndyCar career. He ties the great Roger Ward now for 13th on the all-time list. Mike King?
Yeah, we caught up with Robbie Buell, of course, part of the ownership group at Dreyer Reinbold Racing, former IndyCar Series winner himself. Robbie, give me your take on last weekend at St. Pete and on this Lotus program.
Well, Mike, first of all, great to see you.
It's good to see you. It made me, I'm actually working this weekend. I'm down here amongst the mechanics of racing.
That's good, as you should be.
As I should be.
Your hands are a little too clean.
Yeah.
St. Pete, I think, going into that with all the new variables of this car and the manufacturers, we all were like, boy, what are we going to see? There's going to be attrition. But surprisingly, very little attrition. So, it was good to see the reliability of the cars and what Dallara had done, and obviously the rubbing the teams had done, and as well as with all the manufacturers. With us as a Lotus team, I think it's clear that, we still got some work to do, and we knew Lotus was behind coming to the game. I think we have a good building block of a motor. We just got to continually log some miles and close that gap to the Chevy and Honda guys right now. And, at what speed can we do that, in terms of closing that gap? So just got to keep our head down and keep pushing.
As a former driver, now on the ownership side, Robbie, you kind of expected this, though, right? I mean, Lotus officials have said, we're realistically 8 weeks behind Honda and Chevrolet, so it's not like you expected to come out here and start posting top 5s, top 10s.
No, you have to be realistic in the game. Initially when we formed our partnership with Lotus, we thought, hey, that's a little bit of a risk, but we liked the ability to be working directly with them as we were going to evolve this product. Again, you'd always love for the gap to be a little bit closer. Pretty happy with where we're seeing the reliability, but now we have to make up that deficit of power, and that's just a function of getting the car out on the track and making little tweaking adjustments with regards to mapping, fuel flow, just all those little things that are way beyond you and me.
Yeah.
But guys just sit at a computer and they say, oh, this can improve, and that's the type of work we just need to do. And what we're saying is we're a couple months behind. It's not that it can't get there or we don't like where it's at. We just got to make up some time.
Give me your take on Oriole. He's a great driver.
Fantastic, all the way around.
Meshing really well with the team?
Yeah. Just a bunch of compliments from all of our people internally, all of our partners, as well as just the fans. I mean, I was amazed. I'd known Oriole before, and he's a class act, but really I'm amazed of how much fan support. The fans out there really love Oriole as a personality, and the more you hear him talk, I mean, he's witty, but he's pretty darn candid.
He's very suave.
And approachable, but I mean, he's got some good sound bites in him, I think.
Tony Kanaan currently P3 on the timing and scoring chart. Marco Andretti is second quick. Newgarden continues to set the pace. Then Takuma Sato. It didn't take long for Dario Franchitti to dialed in. He's up to P5. Then Hildebrand, then Barrichello. Mike Conway appears to be poised for another solid weekend for ABC Supply and AJ Foyt. Graham Rahal is 9th. Quick Pagano is up to 10th.
Hey, they started a mark. Can you tell?
Yeah, something told me.
Hold on a second. He's getting ready to pull out. Let's hope he lights him up here. I love being down here. I got to admit, I just love being pit side here. This is just the greatest gig in the world. There is no denying it. And for all of you fans around the country, I know you're sitting there thinking, man, I am jealous. And you should be, because to be at this racetrack, this close to these cars, with these drivers, and to be able to do this for as long as we've done it. Here goes Ryan Hunter-Reay getting ready to leave the pit. I love it, Mark.
25 minutes remaining in this session now as the full field, now that Ryan Hunter-Reay makes his way out onto the course. Now we will have had all 26 cars turn in a lap. And as we mentioned, we expect some changes at top timing and scoring. Nick Yeoman, we see the number 11 machine of Tony Kanaan, currently P3 on the speed chart. TK with a top 10 start at St. Petersburg, but some mechanical issues, an electrical problem specifically relegated him to a very disappointing 25th position. And, you know, Tony Kanaan has made 243 starts and only 188 times, we should say, he has finished a race. He's really down on DNFs. That is very uncharacteristic in terms of Tony Kanaan not finishing a race.
Yeah, and the problem last week turned out to be a battery issue. And I heard this week that KB Racing Technology did some extensive looking into those issues, and they feel like that they've got everything fixed. Of course, a lot of guys teething these race cars through the teething problems with the engines. It's to be expected, and I think we'll certainly probably see that this weekend as well. Tony Kanaan, 8th in 2010, 6th in 2011. He started 8th at this place here in Barber in 2010. 15 wins for Tony Kanaan. He is just one shy of tying Will Power, Alex Zanardi, and he's one shy of the late, great Dan Weldon as well. Last year, Tony Kanaan charged through the field here at Barber. He started 24th and ended up with a very respectable 6th place finish driving for KB Racing Technology. He'll obviously want to start a little bit better than that, Mike King, but Tony Kanaan going to be a guy to watch, trying to bounce back from those battery issues 1 week ago.
Fastest, Will Power, then Elio Castro-Neves, Jacob Asado, Joseph Newgarden. 5th, quick Mike King, Rubens, Barrichello.